And I know from just being a business owner and growing up watching my mom as a business owner that there will always be, kind of pockets of time where you'll make more money and pockets of time where you'll make less money. We in the handmade business industry know that come January, everything's going to drop off and die, just like it does for other retail businesses. And I've been stuck at the same revenue numbers, making the same amount of sales for about 2 years now, a little bit over 2 years, if I'm being fully transparent. And it took me some time to figure things out. As you know, if you are a regular watcher of my channel, The Strategy Studio, I am in my reflective era phase where I sit back and I truly take a look at all of the decisions, big and small, that led me to exactly where I am today, and reflecting on those here with you so we can make decisions that move both of us forward, right? I'm very much so in the trenches of that right now, and today's video is a prime example of it. So, what exactly have I been missing this entire time? What is it that you've been missing? Because I just know I'm not alone. And it's a weird thing to kind of talk about because you don't want to sound not successful, right? When people ask you about your business, you don't want to say something like, oh, things are going great. I've been making the same amount of revenue, even though I've really trying to scale for 2 years. That's not necessarily something that we want to talk about, but I am here to talk about it and share what I found with you. So let's go ahead and dive in. Now, let's talk about this revenue plateau, if you will, because again, it's got to be something that a lot of us are going through. And while I was reflecting, I found something that really kind of hit me pretty hard. And it was very much so a shock to put an actual label to what I think has been holding me back. My revenue, much like the revenue of many business owners, whether they be part-time, full-time, handmade, dropship, whatever you want to call it, right, has been pretty stagnant, regardless of the effort that I put into growing and scaling. And I know from just being a business owner and growing up watching my mom as a business owner that there will always be, kind of pockets of time where you'll make more money and pockets of time where you'll make less money. We in the handmade business industry know that come January, everything's going to drop off and die, just like it does for other retail businesses, and boutiques and vendor events aren't happening right now. Now, regardless of whether your revenue number is 500 a year or $1,000 a year or 5,000, even $10,000 a year, I think we all kind of go through the same thought process, which is what led us to this plateau. You get kind of like a little bit of motion, you get kind of some traction on your sales, and you think, okay, great. The next step is to just do more. And because I'm doing more, I will end up making more. And I do think that that makes logical sense, right? But that's actually not what happens. Actually happens is you're trying harder, you're posting more on social media, you're sending out more marketing materials, you're adding more SKUs, you are diversifying your product assortment, you're working more vendor markets. Sure, you're doing more, but it's not actually making more. And that's definitely what happened to me. I was very much so like, okay, all I have to do is more vendor markets. All I have to do is build more commission-based relationships locally. And what I noticed was the problem was not the effort that I was putting into my handmade business and growing my handmade business. It was that I had no clear path forward and did not like take off running in one direction. Instead, I dipped my toes in 10 different lakes, if you will, and ended up never diving fully in. I'm not exactly sure what inspired my water-based analogy, but I'm just going to go ahead and move on from it, like just in case it's not your cup of tea. So, what exactly did that path look like for me, and how am I going to move forward from it? Let's get into that really quickly. So, when I was kind of in the thick of moving in all of these different directions. Before, I was kind of noticing the pattern of a little bit of progress here and then a little bit of progress here, and then nothing ever actually fully moved forward. I was posting reels on Instagram daily, if not more than twice a day. I did a little stint on TikTok, and after months of posting daily, I had 60 followers. I was doing vendor markets every weekend, and the vendor markets are great. I absolutely love vendor markets because you can not only obviously sell things and meet your customers, but you also kind of build this camaraderie with the people in the booths surrounding you, because especially if you stay locally, right, because you end up being typically the same people at all of the different events. So that was really a cool thing. But for me personally, I knew vendor markets wasn't going to be long term for me because I have, my 3 kids. I have 3 young kids, and they play sports. And of course, sports are prime during vendor market seasons in the spring and in the fall. So I knew that that one wasn't going to be a big one for me. I went through a little bit of trying to sell on Etsy. I went through an entire course on how to be successful on Etsy. And then I just walked away from that. On top of all of those things, I was still working at a vintage market every month. I still had commission-based relationships. So I had all of these little tiny buckets. And I think that in the beginning of your business or in your younger years, if you will, it's so easy to fall into that because you want to get your name out there. So you're thinking, okay, the more I get my name out there, the more people will find me and the more they will become repeat customers. And while that is true to an extent, what you're actually doing is running yourself into the ground. I started to notice that pattern that I was hoping for people to be returning customers instead of making sure and doing more things to kind of nurture that and kind of make them, not make them, but like kind of like doing everything that I could to make sure that that customer returned, right? I do feel like your bread and butter customers are your returned customers. You can start to count on them and they will really propel your business forward, but you have to take the time to like nurture that relationship. And if you're all over the place in these tiny little buckets, you don't have the time to dedicate to spending on making sure that customer returns to you. And this leads me to like another trap that I actually hadn't even thought about before I sat down to film this video. You guys know I've got my notebook, I've got all my notes and everything, but this kind of just popped into my head. So here, follow me here for a second. And what I ended up noticing was that a lot of these tasks that I was doing, a lot of these different buckets that I was putting my work into were keeping me busy. Like they were like busy work. They weren't strategic things to build my business. And I think that there's a huge difference there that not a lot of people see. So after having this realization and talking to myself and figuring out exactly what I wanted my goals to be, and figuring out that I was stuck because I was trying to do too many things and it made me not able to really commit and focus on one thing. The very first thing that I did, as lame as it sounds, is I sat down and I decided, okay, I am going to commit to something for 90 days. Whatever it is, it's going to be 90 days. And why did I choose 90 days? It may sound random, but in the terms of a handmade business owner, 90 days is a full season. 90 days is market season. 90 days is holiday collection season. 90 days is the entire summer. 90 days is a good amount of time. It's a great amount of time to really hone in on one thing, commit to it, pursue it to the absolute 100% best of your ability, and then see how the needle moves, right, over that time. If you're building and you decide, okay, I'm going to give it a month and see what happens after that month. Well, after a month, you're just gearing up. You're just getting started. You're just getting into the swing. It's actually months 2 and months 3 that really fully like submerge you. Here we are with the water again, into that goal and move you forward. So you have to be able to commit to 90 days. Really, that first time I made a 90-day goal, I was really scared because, I have not committed to something like that before. And it's very challenging for me and my personality type to say, okay, I'm going to follow through, right, for 90 days and actually commit to it. I have no problem, zero problem starting 15 things, as we have determined over the years that I have been publishing videos on this channel. But I can't continue to do that and then be mad at myself for not making progress. So that is, at the end of the day, what led me to committing to the 90 days. Now, if you're stuck in the same little loop that I was stuck in for so long, here is exactly what you are going to do to get yourself out of it and move on. Okay. First thing, list everything that you are hopeful for in the new year. Just write it all down, get it all out. No worries about like, oh, this one's more important, this one's not important. Don't do any of those things, but just brain dump yourself a list of things that you want to do for your business. Maybe it's a list of platforms that you want to sell on. Maybe it's you want to grow your email list. Maybe it's that you want to attend vendor markets or you want to be better at wholesale. Write down any and all of those things, right? Then you take a look at your list. This is exactly what I did. And you pick one of those things that you can commit to for 90 days. What are you going to go all in on for the next 90 days? And now is absolutely the perfect time to set this 90-day goal for yourself and your business. Things don't work unless you push them to work. So that's what we need to do, especially because we are part-time. We don't have 40, 50 hours a week to dedicate to our businesses. We have typically less than 15, maybe 20 on a slow week, right? We have limited time. So you need to hyper focus on what you are committing to over the next 90 days in order to see growth. And whatever it is that you are committing to, you need to also commit to stopping everything else. So let's say over the next 90 days, you decide you want to go all in on wholesale. Don't fall into the trap of what so many of us do. Don't fall into the trap of saying, okay, I'm going to grow my wholesale business. And, my number one thing I'm going to do to grow my wholesale business is post on social media, because those are two separate things. Those are not going to go together for our purposes of 100% committing. Yes, of course, posting on social media will eventually grow your wholesale business. Actually spend your time growing your wholesale business doing things like sending emails to boutiques or making samples that you can cold send to different shops. Maybe you go locally and bring your samples to local shops in person. You could spend some time learning how to pitch to wholesalers in the first place, right? All of those things are going to help guide your wholesale business, not stray it or make you go off track by posting on social media. That is an entirely separate goal. So if you are stuck in this same monotonous revenue plateau that I have been stuck in, and you follow any advice from today's video, I truly hope it's that you're planning on creating this 90-day goal. Ask yourself, do I have a clear path for moving forward, or am I running in 5 or 6 different directions trying to see which one sticks? And that's the one I'm going to commit to until it doesn't. And then I'm going to move over to the next one. And then I'm going to move over to the next one, right? Pick one strategy and go all in for these 90 days. Then take the time to evaluate and decide if you're going to continue or if you're going to set a new 90-day goal. Maybe it's improving your wholesale reorder rate or building your email list or going viral on TikTok, whatever your 90-day goal is. Make it specific to you and attainable for the amount of time you have to dedicate to your business. So, if you're still feeling a little bit about making this 90-day goal, or if you're concerned on how to develop your 90-day goal and how to actually create the steps to achieving that 90-day goal, I have the perfect course for you. I have created the Product Edit Blueprint, which is a course for handmade business owners, particularly part-time makers. As you know, our scheduling looks far different from a full-time maker. This course not only is going to help you develop those goals, but it's going to show you how to build frameworks that you can use in your business moving forward. We talk about and build a framework for making decisions on product collections, on customer work, building a community, breaking down your goals into actionable steps. There are so many wonderful modules within this course, if I do say so myself. And I do pride myself on making sure that something that you pay for over delivers on the value. Not only does it help you set goals for yourself in this 90-day time frame that we've talked about today, and it helps you form your signature products collection, it's going to help clarify your brand's concept and make sure that it is focused. That way, moving forward, it's way easier to make decisions. Because when your decision making abilities are clear and you have a full picture of everything you plan to offer, the path to move forward becomes clear too. If that sounds like something you'd be interested in, the course is currently $97 and it is hosted on my website, strategystudioformakers.com/PEB for Product Edit Blueprint. If you decide to purchase the course, come back after completing module 1 and let us know down in the comments how it went for you. And if now is not the right time, I totally understand. And I still encourage you to drop your 90-day goal in the comments below. Let's talk about it. Let's get some ideas flowing. This to me is a community. It is not me just talking to you. I very much so love to continue this conversation and work with you down in the comments below. All right, I'll see you in my next video. Bye.